Hi everyone, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel that is related to interview preparation of finance, accounts payable, accounts receivable, R2R, O2C. So if you are the one who is preparing for any of these profile, please subscribe to my channel Interview Preparation with Dolly Kumari for more such videos. So today's topic is going to be very important, and this question is often asked to the students who go for articleship in companies, whether you go for CA firm or CMA firm. So if you are going for the interview, or also if you are going for the interview in companies related to R2R profile or accounts payable profile, so this is the question, this is the journal entry which is often asked to you, and people get confused in these entries. So I have categorized all the entries which is relevant for you all, and I will discuss all of the entries in this video. So first is accrued expense. So this question, this journal entries are often asked in the interview, that what do you understand by accrued expense. So first we will understand the word accrue. Accrue is something which has occurred. So in context of expense, when owned but not yet paid. So there is an expense which we need to pay, but we haven't owned, like we haven't paid yet, but we need to record the transaction in our books of accounts. That way it will show that the transaction are recorded in real time. So if you are, like if you are giving a salary to the employees, and this month you are facing some financial crisis and your cash flow is low, so you are not able to meet up with the obligation to pay their salary, but your the salary has been accrued, so you should record the transaction in books of accounts, because that is our accounting principle, that we need to record the transaction when it is occurred, whether we receive the cash or whether we pay the cash or not. So it we need to record the transaction. So when record expense but not paid, so first we will record the entry, and that is debit expense, whatever expense, suppose wages or electricity expense that has been accrued, and you have to create a liability. So to create a liability, you have to pass a credit entry, that will be accrued expense. And whenever you will settle the liability, whenever you will have the cash to pay, then you can pass this entry of settlement. That is, you have to you have to first what liability you have created, so you have to settle that, so you have to debit accrued expense, and then your bank will be reduced, so you have to pass the credit entry to bank. So this is very important, and this transaction is asked in many ways by the interviewer, and they really expect from us to answer this question. So if you have any doubt in this, please ask me in the comments, so I will reply you. But in general context, the meaning of accrued expenses, when owned but not yet paid. So it can happen in the case of whether you have some obligation related to electricity charges, or whether you have to pay to your employ employees. So this entry will be passed. Now comes second, that is accrued revenue. So accrued revenue is when earned but not yet received. Suppose in this context, first we have understand that salary has been accrued, but the employee didn't receive the salary. So the employee will be in situation of accrued revenue. So when earned, so he has earned the salary, but he has not received yet. Revenue, recognize revenue earned but not collected. So in this case, a debtor also comes in this case. So we will create a asset related to that, that is will be account receivable, and then to revenue, the credit. And whenever you will receive the amount for your, like the work you have performed, so your bank will be increased, and your accounts receivable, the asset you have created, will be set off. So this is the entry, and this is really important. So if you're going for the interview, please try to remember both of the entry, and try to not remember but also understand, like why we are passing this entry, what is the reason behind it. So it is very important. Now comes the third, advance from customer. That is our unearned revenue. When payment is received in advance, record customer payment received before earning revenue. So you have not performed your duties or your obligation, but you have received the amount in advance. So that is a kind of liability which has been created by other person on you, because you have not delivered the service or the goods yet, but the payment has already been done by the other party. So what will be the entry? Your bank will be increased, and then there will be a liability which is created, unearned revenue. When revenue is earned, adjust from revenue earned. So whenever you will receive the revenue, so you can, like the liability you have created, you can set off with passing this entry, unearned revenue. And why you have done this? Because now you have received your revenue, so you can uh, credit the revenue. Now comes fourth journal entry, amortization of intangible assets. So as we all know that amortization happens in case of intangible assets, and depreciation happens in case of tangible asset, that is fixed asset, furniture, plant or machinery. And amortization basically happens for like goodwill, trademark, patent, copyright. So record periodic allocation of intangible asset cost. So the entry will be debit amortization expenses and credit accumulated amortization. Now comes fifth entry, bad debt expense, and this is a estimate uncollectible account to reflect the expected loss. So this is a kind of expected loss that will going to be happen from our debtor. So they are not going to pay due to any sort, like any reason. So that has become our bad debt. So the entry will be bad debt expense, and the we will credit allowance from for doubtful accounts. So these are the entry, like very important. And the first four we have discussed, those are the most important entry, and you should practice it before appearing into the interview. Now comes the sixth, capital introduce. So whenever we introduce capital, record capital introduced by owner or investor. So our bank will be debit, and what we have given, so the credit will be capital. And then depreciation, recognize asset wear and tear over time. So assets value keep on decreasing over time. So there is an entry which is passed for that. Debit depreciation expense to accumulated depreciation. Now eighth, dividend declared, record the announcement of dividend to shareholder. So what will be the entry? Debit retained earning, and the credit will be dividend payables. Ninth is payment of dividend. So when we will pay that dividend, so our liability which we have created with dividend payable name will be debit, and then and our bank will be reduced. 11th entry, interest expense. So when interest accrue on a loan, record unpaid interest expense. Debit interest expense, credit interest payable. When interest is paid, clear accrued interest liability. So our debit will be interest payable and credit will be bank. So these are the entries which is very important, and I have covered till 10. So I have covered 10 entries in this video. I'm not going to cover all of them in this video because the video will be very long. So I don't want that. So I will make a separate video after 11 to 20th. But I will give you a really good suggestion, and this is very important. Please remember accrued expense, accrued revenue, and unearned revenue, amortization, depreciation. These are very important, and trust me, I have given so many interviews, so I know like these question is often asked. Whether you are going for investment banking role, whether you're going for accounts payable or financial accounting or R2R. So these are the basic which they will ask you. So thank you so much for watching, and please let me know if you have any feedback. Thank you.